Hi, it's the Rawsome Vegan Gal here, and I've got some great products from a company called Sister River Foods. It is Parma, and it is vegan Parmesan, so this is really cool. They have 3 different flavors. They've got their original, they've got their chipotle cayenne, and they've got their garlicky green. And we're going to be talking more about the products, and I'm actually going to be tasting them and telling you different ways you can use this product. And it comes in 2 different sizes. This is their 3.5 ounce size. It also comes in a 7 ounce size. This is actually an empty container of one I've already had a while back. So I want to thank Shannon for sending me the products that I could review and talk to you more about. So what is Parma? Parma, short for Parmesan. It's a vegan Parmesan that is dairy-free, soy-free, gluten-free, GMO-free, and also kosher. And it's got B12 in it, omega-3s, trace minerals, and it is also a complete protein because what they use in here are different nuts and seeds. And Parma, like their quote-unquote quote, I guess, is Parma is good karma. And it is very tasty, I have to say. Now, I haven't tried the other flavors. I have tried the original, and I really like it. And it can be used on many different things. I mean, if you have like crackers, maybe plain crackers, and you have a spread on it and you want it a little cheesy, you can put on top of that. Any grain, like let's say quinoa or rice, or millet, or anything that you want, it would give it more of a savory flavor and have a lot of nutrients in it as well. And people put it on their popcorn, or if you want to make an interesting kind of a popcorn that isn't actually using corn, because some people don't want to use corn because they're concerned about the GMOs, you know, even with organic. So you can make cauliflower popcorn where you chop it up fine or put it in a food processor, and then you can add some of this Parma on it, which would make it delicious. You can put it on your beans, you know, as a seasoning on your pizza. If you make a salad, you can put it on your salad, or if you make a blended salad, you can put it on that. I mean, there's just many different ways that you could use this. I have used it on, like, with a spread. Like, I have even if you make like a hummus and it doesn't have that much of a flavoring to it, you can add some of this to it as well, or any other kind of dip or sauce that you want to be savory and salty. And then, of course, if you want to be a little spicy, some of the 2 other flavors, they have more spice to them. So let's take a look at the original one. So the original Parma, it's also, I didn't mention, it's candida free, which is good to know, and it has also other things like vitamin B vitamins, vitamin E, your GLA, which is the gamma-linoleic acid, if I'm not mistaken. And what is in the actual original Parma? The ingredients are walnuts, nutritional yeast, sunflower seeds, and hemp seeds, and Himalayan salt. And everything pretty much is in here is organic, except of course for the yeast and the Himalayan salt. So it is not certified organic, but it does use organic ingredients. So and they recommend too that you put it in the refrigerator after you open it, because the reason is because it does have things that tend to maybe get rancid, like walnuts, once they're processed. So it's better to put it in there. And then it comes in a really nice shaker container, and it has one side where you have the little holes if you wanted to sprinkle on, and then it has the one other side for the spoon. So we're going to do the spoon side, if we can get it in. This is not a regular kind of a spoon. This is a spoon with a fork. And I'm just going to try it just like this without putting it on anything. And it does have a salty flavor, of course by itself. And this is what it looks like, if you could see the color of it inside the container. It does definitely taste cheesy, and that's because of the nutritional yeast. I think the flavor profile is really nice as far as the ingredients and as far as the ratios. So it's mostly more walnuts than sunflower seeds and hemp seeds. So that is the original So if you're the type of person that's not really into spicy things, then you want to just kind of stick with this one for right now. But yeah, it will add not just flavor to your food, it adds nutrients, so that's really good too, so you get the best of both worlds. Now the next one we're going to try is called the garlicky green, and this one is really interesting. You can see the color of it is a little different. If you can see in there, it has a little greener, I don't know if you can see it, it has a little greener tinge, maybe like my blouse, and it's hard to kind of see in this light, so I'm not sure if you're getting it. So what does this have that's different than the other one? They add, let's take a comparative analysis here as we look on the label. So what the garlicky green one has, it also has pumpkin seeds, it also has kelp, it also has garlic, and it also has sesame seeds, and it also has basil and oregano. So it's more like kind of like an Italian type vegan Parmesan. So it has quite a few more ingredients in here than the other one does. And also, so you know, and I didn't mention this before, as far as the nutrient facts on here, the original Pharma for 2 teaspoons has 4% iron and 15% B12. That's a pretty significant amount. And for the garlicky green one, it's 4% iron and 10% B12. So still, that's in only 2 teaspoons. That's quite a bit. So if you're concerned about your iron or your B12, this would be a good way to get a little bit. You're not getting that much iron. There's other things that have more iron in it by themselves, but it's still a decent amount. So we're going to open this one up as well and take a little taste, see what the difference is. Make sure I have the right one here. This is the garlicky green that I'm trying out right now. And it does look a little bit different. If I can get it out on the spoon. This one tastes definitely saltier. And I'm tasting the herbs now too. I taste the garlic. I taste a little of the basil. It's like everybody's tongue is different how they taste the different flavor profiles. So at first I was tasting like more like the garlic and the salt. And then I started tasting some of the herbs too. So yeah, that's also very nice. Again, it doesn't have a lot of salt in it. Only 1% sodium for 2 teaspoons. So that's really nice too. So if you want something with a little more seeds, a little more herbs in it, because this one only has salt, the original. So this one's got a little more herb flavor to it. So, and the final one, and I'm not a big fan of spicy things. I never grew up with them in the house where I grew up in. We only had simple things like garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and probably salt. We never really grew up with a lot of spicy seasoned type foods like that. So, but let's take a look at this Chipotle Cayenne. So again, if you are not someone who can handle hot stuff, probably you go easy on this or don't get it at all for right now. Try the other two. You got the original and you got the garlicky green too. So what this has differently than the others, let's see, than the original, let's just see the original. So it's got the walnuts, the yeast, it's got the sunflower seeds. All they add to this one is the cayenne, actually. That's the only thing that's listed differently. And and the chipotle, I'm sorry, not just the cayenne. I missed a few ingredients. Excuse me, I apologize. It's got chipotle, it's got onion, and it's got cayenne. So those are the 3 extra ingredients than the original. And iron 4%, B12 15% for 2 teaspoons. So you can see the color is a little different from the cayenne. It has more of a reddish tinge, where if you look at the original has more of a yellowish tinge, if you can see the difference. I don't know if you can really see that. The labels are supposed to be, I noticed that too, that they have a label kind of like color-coded, like this is the red for the cayenne and the green for the garlicky green. I like that. That's a nice added touch, and then this is more of the yellow for the original. So I don't know that you could see it in the whether you can see the difference in the color. I can see it from looking at the container, but in the camera view you might not be getting the lighting might not be good enough for you to see. So let's try a little tiny bit of this. I'm actually going to open it fully so I can just, first of all, take a smell. I didn't think of that either. Let's open them up too and take a smell before I continue. So the original doesn't have a very strong smell. I like smelling things. I like different scents and what they smell like. Now this is the Yeah, the garlicky green, I can definitely smell more of the herbs. And then this is the chipotle. Oh yeah, I definitely can I definitely can smell the heat, so to speak. So we're going to just take a really tiny, tiny drop of this because I really do not handle too much. Ooh, that is hot. Wow. Oh yeah, I can feel it going down now. I'm glad I took just a little, I took a tiny, tiny bit, like probably smaller than that. Ooh, that's really strong. And usually, of course, most people aren't eating this by itself, so when you put it on things, it may be okay, but this one is pretty hardcore. Chipotle and cayenne are strong. And, you know, when things like this I start having, they start affecting me. So if you can't take the heat, don't go with this one. You know, or if you want to just have a little bit, I mean the tiniest, tiniest drop. So you want to just go easy on this one if that's too much for you. So, you know, like I said, you can do so many things. Also pasta. I mean, I would do a vegan, if you do a vegan pasta or raw pasta, you could put this on there with your sauce. And instead of using the spices, if you use Parma, it's already seasoned. It already has the salts and the herbs and different things like that. So then it's almost like can be your like replacement for your seasonings. You can just use this as a seasoning on your stuff, or when you're making a certain type of sauce or dip or something like that for your, let's say you make a vegetable dip or something for your vegetables, like a crudité, and you put it in, you can add that. Or of course you could just have them on the table and let people decide what flavor they want, because some people might not like spicy, so you want to give more people the option of what they can have. So again, let's go through the three of them and tell you again. This is Parma. We got our original, and we got our garlicky green, and we got our chipotle cayenne. And again, they're no GMO, no soy, no dairy, gluten-free, candida-free, kosher, and soy-free, and they taste good. And again, the heat one, you know, you might have to take easy on if you can't handle it for right now. But they're all tasty, delicious, and I think it's a great option for people like myself who's vegan and we don't use cheese. So it's a great alternative to get that cheesy flavor without having to opt for cheese. So definitely check out Parma, and I will have a link below this video for their website so you can learn more about the company and where you can buy these great products. Thanks for watching. It's the Rawsome Vegan Gal.